Every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And before we start working on my WRXs and my BMW 36s, I thought it was important that you knew my story.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel.
I grew up a military kid. My dad was Army, and that basically opened the door to one of the biggest opportunities in my life.
Now, if you guys know anything about me, which you probably don't if you're new to the channel,
Had the opportunity to go to school in Japan, and that was like out of this world, like home of some of the coolest JDM cars that have ever existed. Like, I am just super fortunate to have been able to live in the actual country that makes Skylines, that makes WRXs, that makes freaking 300ZX twin turbos, and freaking all the other amazing Japanese cars that we have fallen in love with. My first car was a Honda Civic, and my parents bought me my first car, and it wasn't nothing special. It was just a regular base Honda Civic, but I took that opportunity to turn it into something awesome. I taught myself how to tint windows, how to freaking put a car stereo system in, how to change wheels and put an exhaust and do all these cool things. And that was my first time modifying a car, and oh my gosh, it is the moment that changed me forever, because from that moment I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked. My dad was always into cars, so I have been around that and influenced by my dad from a very young age. He used to have some of the dopest cars himself, and I remember one of my favorites that he had was this orange like 57 Chevy pickup truck that he freaking just like modded up to the freaking like hills with. It was just so cool. It had everything. I remember thinking, this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And that kind of is like how I got into everything automotive, even motorbikes. Like I ride motorcycles and all that kind of stuff as well. And it's because my dad, he was a direct influence for all of those amazing things, man. Pretty lucky.
I've been pretty fortunate in my life to have been able to have some of the most off-tap cars and off-tap bikes and just, you know, off-tap rides, man. I love that stuff. It gets me really excited.
The Honda Civic was cool, but that wasn't my dream car. That was not the car that was going to freaking satisfy my newfound love for all things JDM. So I freaking took the car and flipped it and bought a better car, and I kept flipping up until I finally got the car I really wanted, which was a Nissan Skyline.
Really just wanting to connect with you guys, so if you're new, or if you don't know who I am, or if you're someone who already knows who I am and you followed me from one of my other channels to here, thank you guys. Make sure you please subscribe.
The Skyline, oh my gosh, It was so cool. And as luck would have it, I freaking was fortunate enough to be able to have 4 Skylines before all was said and done. Before I left Japan, I freaking had owned 4 different Skylines. I had owned Hachiroku, the original Hachiroku, man, like the original freaking Hachiroku, which, if you guys don't know, initial D influenced, yeah, Hachiroku. Freaking, oh my gosh, it was such a cool car. I had a Bluebird Q-Ichimaru Nismo, which is a very rare 2-door coupe turbo Bluebird that was really freaking sexy. I had it just completely kitted, body kitted, everything. The Q-Ichimaru stands for 910 Nismo. Very rare. I wish I never got rid of that, because if I knew then what I know now, holy crap, that car would be priceless.
Meanwhile, what's up, y'all? We're at the car wash.
Of all the cars I've had in my entire life, though, probably the most powerful one was my Nissan 300ZX twin turbo. That, I mean, a lot of money went into getting as much horsepower out of that bad boy as possible. When all was said and done, it had about 700 or so horsepower, and to date, that is probably my most powerful car that I've ever had, and especially from a built point of view. Like, that was the most built car that I've ever had, engine wise. We'll see if we can beat that with one of the WRXs, though. So in school, I was hanging out with the cool kids. To me, the cool kids, meaning anyone who was in BMX freestyle, because I also ride freestyle BMX, or at least I used to. Haven't ridden in a very long time, but I used to ride quarter pipe, ramp, you know, the whole nine, man. Freestyle BMX. I was sponsored at one stage. That's how good I was. And all of us who started out on BMX, we ended up into cars. And all of the, again, cool kids, as I call them, were now car kids, and I was one of them.
The GLC 250. This is what I've been driving for the past freaking 6 months or something like that. It is a beautiful car. I absolutely love it. Actually, it's not even a car. It's more of a just an experience, you know, SUV experience. That's what I'm gonna call it. But guys, this car is super smooth. It's like a 9-speed auto, and it has a bunch of, you know, if you know anything about Mercedes, they've got these little switches, the little switch inside. You can switch from sports mode, economy, you know, comfort, sports plus, all of that. Heads-up display. I mean, it's a Mercedes. What do you expect? It's got everything, every single box ticked on this bad boy. It is beautiful, it is comfortable, and is surprisingly quick. I mean, especially when you drop it into sports. Woo! Drop it in sports mode, and this thing takes off like a jet. But guys, I'll tell you some more about this car, maybe on another video, or maybe not, because at the end of the day, what's to know? It's a Mercedes, and it's black, and it's sexy. What else do you really need to know? It's got 19-inch wheels.
want me to lock it down, but I told her to pass the key. You gotta slow it down, girl, you moving too fast for me. Nobody did it like this, so they wonder, they asking me if I can slow it down, cause it's coming too fast for me. Baby, don't try it, just stop it. You should know that I got options. I be fly like I live in the cockpit. Mess around with the money, get drop kick. Only one in the city to pop quick. Never cared about being your top 10. Got a house in the hills, can you top this? I came from where them boys leave you topless. It get crazy around here in my section. All of my ops get to stepping. Know how long I had prayed for these blessings. Took my L's and turned them to lessons. I go take it, I'm not in the begging. If I'm breaking bread, it's only with the brethren. I need the top, cause that's where I'm heading. Yeah, she want me to lock it down, but I told her to pass the key. You gotta slow it down, girl, you moving too fast for me. Nobody did it like this, so they wonder, they asking me if I can slow it down, cause it's coming too fast for me. I came up from the bottom, now look at me now, they mad at me. I cannot slow it down, cause it's coming too fast for me.
Yeah, something was really special about this Mercedes. I freaking absolutely loved it, and it was so comfortable and so cool to drive. Still had power as well, though. It wasn't completely just a sexy beast without any power to back it up. Like, definitely had some get up and go to it.
No, we're not for a million years. No, we're not for a million years.
I don't have all the answers, and I don't know where the road is going to take me next. But all I do know is I hope that you guys come along with me. So make sure you're subscribed, because it's going to be a fun ride.